During the operational setback from our last episode, I stumbled onto a hyper-specific strategy completely by accident. It immediately changed my entire business routine, and I still cannot believe it took me this long to find it. We're not talking about a minor optimization tweak here. This accidental discovery cut my active work down to under 1 hour a month, flat. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on a corporate master lease framework that essentially automated my entire portfolio, start to finish. While I was trying to patch the holes from our compliance ambush, I realized something. I couldn't keep trading hours for dollars forever. So I went back to basics and engineered an automated setup that removed me from the daily operational grind entirely. I had to step completely out of the amateur landlord mindset and into real corporate systems thinking the same way a business owner thinks about operations instead of just tasks. If you try to scale your properties without a real leverage framework, you'll become the bottleneck of your own business. You'll lose your calendar and you'll lose your freedom because you built yourself a job instead of an asset. Today I'm showing you exactly how I scaled into passive corporate real estate and how I aligned my inventory directly with institutional relocation housing networks. I'm showing you the actual costs to deploy this down to the dollar. This is what completely decoupled my personal time from my monthly income. Let's look at exactly what I discovered during that week 6 compliance freeze. While I was scrambling to register as an approved vendor across 4 different insurance clearinghouses, I connected with an industry professional, a senior director of global mobility at an institutional corporate relocation firm. That connection happened almost by accident. I was on a routine compliance call with their team, purely to sort out a paperwork issue, and the conversation drifted into a completely different problem they were dealing with on their side. Most people would have hung up once their own issue was resolved. I kept listening instead and asked a few more questions about what was actually frustrating them. During our conversation, I realized they were facing a real operational bottleneck. They had thousands of corporate executives and displaced policyholders entering our metro area every month, and their internal procurement coordinators were exhausted from managing scattered individual leases with independent landlords. That's when I ran the numbers on a completely different approach. Instead of positioning my company as a standard property provider waiting for scattered placements, I proposed what I call a programmatic institutional master lease, and I pitched it directly to her the following week. I signed one comprehensive commercial contract that leased all 3 of my properties to their centralized corporate entity for a fixed 3-year duration. Under this structure, the relocation firm became the tenant of record and took on 100% of the operational liability. They handle individual guest vetting, turnover cleaning logistics, and minor maintenance. Meanwhile, my company collects one automated commercial payment on the 1st of the month, like clockwork. We shifted the manual work of the scattered corporate model into something genuinely hands-free. This master lease alignment instantly eliminated my platform dependency and insulated the business from vacancy risk. But you're probably wondering what it actually costs to set something like this up. Let's break down the real numbers. Amateurs assume that institutionalizing a deal like this requires hundreds of thousands of dollars in corporate overhead. That's simply not true, and that false belief is exactly what keeps most investors stuck. The barrier to entry here is not capital, it is execution. Step 1 was paying a contract attorney a flat fee of $850 to review and bulletproof our commercial master lease rider, making sure our downside was hedged against occupant property damage. Step 2 was $350 for an enterprise tier channel management software subscription. This connects my property inventory directly to their internal procurement database, so their corporate coordinators can see live vacancy status without ever texting or calling my personal phone. The entire setup took 72 hours of concentrated effort to push live. I started small, built the infrastructure, and established an automated data link that now handles procurement without any manual involvement from me. Picture a dashboard that simply runs itself. Vacancy status updates automatically. No phone calls, no manual entries, just a clean feed of data flowing straight to their procurement team. The attorney negotiation was actually the slower part of those 72 hours. We went back and forth twice on the liability language before both sides signed off. That back and forth is normal, and it's worth the extra day to get it right. Instead of rushing a contract you'll be locked into for 3 years. A 72-hour setup is a fast timeline, but a new system means nothing unless it actually improves your monthly numbers. Let's look at exactly what this alignment did to our cash flow. Under the previous scattered corporate housing structure, our 3 properties generated an aggregate gross of $10,500. Our active operating expenses ate up $7,125 of that, mostly landscaping, utilities, and rolling turnover costs. Under the master lease, the relocation firm assumed liability for all of that: interior utilities, professional cleaning, and lawn maintenance. Because of that shift, our operating expense dropped from $7,125 down to $4,800 a month, covering only our baseline mortgage, tax, and insurance. Deduct that $4,800 expense from our locked commercial gross of $9,600, and our true net cash flow lands at $4,800 a month. That's $1,600 net profit per door every single month. Our gross revenue actually compressed slightly, but our net yield expanded by nearly 40% because we systematically eliminated operational waste, turnover costs, and platform commissions all at once. Expanding your margins while eliminating your labor is the real goal here, but I'm not selling this as a universal fix. This mechanism works inside strict parameters. If you try to execute it without meeting them, you'll fail. So let's be honest about exactly who this works for. Let's be completely transparent about who this specific move works for and who it will not. Amateurs think they can apply this framework to any random property in any neighborhood. That's not true, and that mistake is exactly how people lose capital chasing this. This strategy works only if your assets sit inside real corporate density. Your properties need to be within about 15 minutes of major medical centers, logistics hubs, or corporate headquarters. If your properties sit in leisure markets, vacation zones, or rural submarkets, institutional procurement teams will simply ignore your inventory. Your interior furnishings also cannot be cheap or consumer grade. If you're not willing to invest in commercial level design, you'll fail the mandatory facility inspection. Corporate procurement teams are protecting their own reputation. They'll only sign a master lease with an operator running a genuinely professional asset from top to bottom. Outside those parameters, this play just means wasted legal fees and unhedged vacancy. One of my 3 properties almost did not qualify. It sat just outside the 15-minute radius from the nearest major medical center, and I had to get a written exception approved before they would even consider it. It took an extra week of back and forth, but it was worth pushing for rather than assuming it was automatically disqualified. Passing that filter unlocks real operational freedom. But once the model is fully optimized, how does the whole season actually look side by side? Let's look at what I call the time to yield metric, because wealth is never just about the number on your bank statement. It's about how much of your own calendar you actually control. For the old Airbnb model, monthly net cash flow was $5,400 during peak season, but active management time ran about 82 hours a month. High friction, low leverage. For the scattered corporate model, predictable net cash flow dropped to $3,375, but active time dropped to 12 hours a month. That's moderate leverage. Now look at the master lease. Contractual net cash flow climbs back up to $4,800, while active management time drops to less than 1 hour a month. That's genuinely peak efficiency. By executing this master lease, I'm capturing almost the exact same premium cash flow as peak short-term rental season, except my active time involvement dropped from 82 hours a month down to less than 1 hour of automated tracking. I systematically wiped out the hospitality labor, the cleaning turnovers, and the compliance anxiety that came with the earlier models. That's what an actual automated system looks like. The numbers prove you do not have to accept operational suffering as the cost of premium real estate yields. A setback, like the one that led me here, is just information. It pushes you to redesign something better if you let it. By taking my properties and running them through this master lease framework, we locked in predictable premium cash flow and bought back nearly all of our personal time. You go from an exhausted property host to a highly leveraged asset allocator. Looking back at the entire season, this is not the model I planned to end up with. It is the model I found by getting the first 3 wrong first. If you're earlier in that process right now, that's not a sign you're behind. It's just the normal cost of figuring out which model actually fits your properties. If you're completely done with spreadsheet delusions, ready to take real action, and want to master the exact frameworks that build passive scale, make sure you're fully subscribed to this channel right now. You now have the complete architecture, every piece of it, from the first property audit all the way to a fully automated master lease. But it's time for the actual payoff. Our grand season finale is up next, the complete, unfiltered before and after debrief. In our final episode, I'm dropping the total annualized income comparison, tracking the exact hours spent, and exposing the mistakes I would avoid if I started over from zero. I'm also handing over the definitive pivot framework you can execute yourself, and showing you exactly where I'm taking this next. The full season payout is waiting for you next in the final episode inside the playlist right now. Do not stand still. Click the next video, take immediate action, and let's cross the finish line together.